Robin, issue 11, Joshua Williamson writing with Gleb Melnikov on the art. I mean, I want to jump straight to it, but hell of a cliffhanger on this issue.
Yeah.
Hell of a cliffhanger. So, kind of some of the stuff we've been talking about for a while now is Robin effectively having his own little new Teen Titans team out of these characters. I love... So, I mean, obviously it starts with him breaking up. Damien stops Raz from killing his mother. And I mean Raz's mother, not Talia.
His grandmother.
Yeah.
Great grandmother.
And Raz is like, okay, I'll respect you for now, grandson. But they talk about the Lazarus just being used elsewhere, which obviously ties into Task Force Z. It was a little letters not explaining that. But like,
apparently Suicide Squad as well.
Yeah.
And they go off to was it Dusk is running away, and Damien's like, no, I'll go with my friends and take them. I love Talia's like reaction to friends. Damien has friends?
Yeah.
What's this now? And it's like, okay, all right, it's a fun little team. Obviously, we've got the mystery of Respawn, which I actually know who it is because I didn't know before I read this, but when I was looking for news, there was an article saying, oh, the reveal is going to happen in Deathstroke Inc. issue, whatever the next one is. And I thought, oh, I'll just read it because I'm going to read the issue anyway, so I'll just look at it. So I know who it is.
Well, I have a guess on who it is.
Yeah, I will spoil it for you. I'll allow the audience.
I had a guess based off of
through
the show too, and just the back of their head.
I had a guess when I read it. But
is it the obvious guess that I might be thinking of?
Well, you do. I wouldn't say yes or no, but you guys can have your guesses. I won't give mine because mine's is wrong because I know who it is now.
Right.
But anyway, so they go to Carter Maltese, which is the nearest civilization, and try and track him down. So we do get this moment where Rose runs off with Respawn, and he takes off his mask. She sees who it is, and she reacts like she's shocked. And she's like, "Well, we have to get out of here now before anyone finds out who you are." So they're away just now. I'm sure they'll come back into it later. If not in this book, then certainly during the crossover and whatever's coming up. So I mean, clearly Deathstroke Inc. because that's where the reveal's going to happen. Whereas Damien, Connor Hawke, and Flatline end up taking down Dusk. Although not before Connor Hawke gets a little visit from Lady Shiva, who shows up.
This is such my section of the DCU.
I figured you'd like this.
I love it.
Very badly drawn Lady Shiva, though, let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, the proportions are super off, but...
I actually think Melnikov's faces on pretty much every woman in this book is terrible. Like Talia's face is consistently bad.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say they're terrible. I think...
No. They're very stylized.
Yeah,
they're very...
That panel of Lady Shiva mentioned there's another tournament, which made me laugh, actually. I was getting oh, your princess is in another castle vibes from that.
Yeah.
But like that panel in particular, I think looks pretty wonky on her face.
I mean, yeah, but even the full panel, like the full body shot on the left of that, like, wow, she has a tiny waist in that.
Yeah. She also has very, very long legs compared to the rest of her body.
Yeah. So it was not about the proportions. It looks off.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I just saw the spoiler on Respawn, and it wasn't what I thought. So.
Oh well, I'm just gonna have to look it up now.
Wild.
The car can't be the only one who doesn't know.
No.
I mean, this is the thing, though. We can't reveal what we all thought because we all know it was wrong. Now.
Well, we couldn't have two of you together anyway.
No, it's fine. It's it keeps the mystery alive. And
okay, wait, I'll just say it. It's not Grant. I thought it was Grant at first. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Right. I thought, you know what? We're bringing lots of young characters back from the dead. Grant's the one that seems the most obvious.
And and Lazarus, why not? Like,
and with a name like Respawn.
Yeah, there you go.
Respawn, but
but it's not. It's not
Grant.
Not Grant. But we won't spoil it. We won't spoil it. Yeah, basically Talia tries to recruit the other kids from the tournament. So you got not Ravage. What's his name? From Nightwing.
Yeah. I almost said Talon. It's not Talon. It's It's another bird. Raptor. There we go.
Thank
Nailed
you,
it.
Raptor. That prick. Yes.
Yeah.
How dare he be forgettable? His name. So yeah, she tries to recruit a bunch of people to League of Shadows. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
Whilst Raz is having a heart-to-heart with his dear mother, who's yelling at him, I wish you were never born.
Yeah, she's chained by her Lazarus pit.
Yeah. So this is all good. They're just arguing about what the demon actually is and what the way of the demon is and blah 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 blah. Obviously, I think let's get romantic here for a minute because I think Damien and Flatline's little romance and there's a little moment where it labels something cute when they're fighting together. They sort of grab hands together and sort of during the 2-page spread, which I have to say I think you can complain about the faces, but I think the action layouts and the flow of the action is very good in this. To the point where this little fight here between Damien, Connor Hawke, and Flatline are teaming up against Dusk's troops. I think this sold me on this as a new Teen Titans team of some kind. Well, I'm not going to call them that. I mean, who gives a shit? But
the fact that Titans Academy is done and there doesn't seem to be another Titans book.
There's an opening.
there's definitely an opening. So there's no Young Justice either. So we are going to need a Young Heroes book.
It doesn't even have to be so. It can just be in Robin. It doesn't have to be a new book. It can just be in this.
Well, that's what I mean.
I think it probably is better to do it as its own book and then have Robin be a Robin book at that point. If that's what you're going to do. If you want a team book, because otherwise, if this becomes that Teen Titans book, but still under the Robin name, there's kind of an expectation that it's going to revolve around Robin still, and that's probably not fair on the rest of the characters. I'd rather have a Teen Titans book.
Yeah,
Robin
but I'm enjoying Williamson writing and Melnikov on art, so if it becomes its own book, then
I just want more Flatline, because she's been my favorite addition.
I mean, it can still be Williamson writing, but it doesn't necessarily mean it will be. He's got a lot of other things to do.
Yeah, like killing the Justice League for whatever reason.
Yeah, but he's stepping off Batman, so that frees him up to do Teen Titans.
Give me a book with it could just be in Robin, but I want more Connor Hawke. I want more Flatline. Interacting with Robin. I love their dynamic.
I will say I am more I think this stuff, because it is maybe some of the most stuff directly leading into the Shadow War crossover, and because I'm also enjoying his Batman, I am feeling fairly okay about the crossover, even though I'm going to have to read some Deathstroke Inc. as well, because I feel like Deathstroke Inc. is probably going to have to come back more into what the other two are doing, as opposed to the other books becoming what Deathstroke Inc. is.
You mean Deathstroke Inc. has to stop doing its nonsense?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that I feel like out of any of the books, Robin feels like the one that's the most relevant to Shadow War because of all the League of various forms and Talia, Raz,
Batman's
Damien.
just Batman.
Yeah, Batman's Batman. So, but yeah, and obviously after they win this fight and all the rest of it, I also love when Talia shows up and says, "Your friends did good work, Damien." I love that friends is bolded again. This idea that Talia still isn't comfortable or used to the idea of Damien having friends.
Well, she shouldn't be, because I mean, when you think about it, he is his father's son. Batman does have friends, so it was going to rub off on him sooner rather than later.
I mean, you're a hack for using that phrase, Matt, because a couple pages later there's a great use of that line from Raz. Because Damien's with Flatline, he's talking about the Mangy Lakes, whatever. But they end up kissing, right? And it builds up to, you can sort of tell it's going up to a kiss, and it feels earned because it's felt like they've naturally had this chemistry since early on in the book. So it's this big thing. There's fireworks going on because of the party and Comics Maltese behind them. And Raz, almost out of character here, but it was funny that I'm letting it slide, where he just sips a drink and says he really does take after his father.
Definitely drinking a Mai Tai or something.
Yeah. You know what, though? This goes in with the dude version of Raz. I read this version. In Bridges' voice.
I love this idea that Flatline, in many ways, you could see parallels to Selena, and this idea that Raz is recognizing that, and because he's not even mad, he's smiling as he says it. And Talia's I don't know, horrified that her son has found romance.
I think the implication there was more being reminded that Bruce didn't choose her.
Oh yes. True, okay, I see what you're saying there. The idea that this is he's like his father and that he picks Selena
right, not someone like his mom. I just wish that instead of her doing it was Damien's, tut.
That would have been funnier.
Yeah. I love the idea that some Talia and therefore some mothers in the real world actually hope that their sons will find a wife who's like them. And I believe it exists. I do believe it exists, but it is weird.
I know it exists from talking with some friends.
The logic of, in a non-creepy way, I think the logic is supposed to be they think they're a good person, so they want their kid to be with someone like them because that means they're with a good person.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's the logic of it, right?
But most of them are lying to themselves. They're horrible people.
I mean, most people are.
True.
The last thing I think most people want to do is like bring their new partner to meet their parents and then start to notice that they're very like their mother or vice versa.
There's a very good episode of How I Met Your Mother about that.
Okay. I'm not a big fan. What can I say?
It's a great episode.
Yeah. Also, Flatline doing the little bat ears when she says you're going to go see your father. But Damien, so the cliffhanger of this issue is that when they're all separating to go off and do their own things for at least for a little bit, Damien, not for long because Shadow War starts very soon, but Damien pulls out the vial of Lazarus resin. And he says, "I've something I've got to go do." And the final page is Alfred's tombstone with a lightning strike behind it.
I have to, because one, I think if Alfred was coming back, we'd know about it already.
That's fair. I think the reason why I like this as a cliffhanger is not because I necessarily believe he's going to go through with it or that we're definitely getting Alfred back or anything like that. I like it because it makes complete sense that Damien would want to do this.
Oh, it does, absolutely. And we've been seeing, him talking with his version of Alfred the whole book. And I think ultimately, the next issue, what I hope it is, what I would do if I was in this scenario, is an entire issue of him at Alfred's grave talking to his version of Alfred and ultimately being convinced that bringing him back would be wrong and he has to learn to let him go.
Maybe.
That is my perfect issue 12 of Robin.
Or Williamson goes, it's not Gotham without Alfred, so I'm bringing him back with Lazarus juice.
Suck it, bitches.
Or we do that he comes back wrong, kind of, where he's Alfred zombie comes out.
Pet cemetery. Sometimes that is better.
All right, man, what are you rating, Rob?
I'm giving this a 7.5.
Okay, Connor?
I think I'll probably just give it a 7. It is good though. I knocked it down a little bit for some wonky faces and Shiva. Although just to be one good thing about the art, and to be fair, the 2-page sequence of them fighting in Court of Maltese is phenomenal. That stuff is fantastic.
I'll be the high guy on this then. I'll say 8, and I think I do agree. Some of the faces are wonky. That particular Shiva stuff especially, but I think a lot of the art is still really good. The action layout is good. I think the kiss is good. I think Raz pretty much always looks good, and maybe it's just because he's just good at drawing people with beards because it obscures the facial features.
I think it helps because, like I said, I think Talia looks weird in almost every.
But Connor said he wants to see Lady Shiva with a beard.
She'd still kick your ass, so it's fine.
100% she would.
So, 8 out of 10 from me. But I really like the story though. I love the cliffhanger. It makes complete sense that because Damien's whole thing is that he's been attached to Alfred's death and he's been thinking about him in this sort of ghost form the whole issue or the whole.
I'll put this out there now. If next issue is what I said I wanted it to be, I'll leave it a 9, like straight off, like at least.
I love the idea that it'll be exactly what I want it to be, but it'll just be one page at the end teasing the next story that has something Connor hates and he has to begrudgingly give it a 9.